Hey, 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 everybody. Thank God it's Financial Freedom Fridays. I'm your host, Queenie Brown, and thank you so much for joining me and the KingsMan. Today, we're going to be talking about inflation, the hidden tax, and how to get ahead of it. So, as we get started, why don't we welcome our gentlemen to the show, Mr. Dwayne Taylor, Mr. Donovan Yarbo. Hello, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Good,
What's going on,
good.
family?
Hello,
Glad to be
everyone.
back.
Good. It's good to be back. It's been too long.
It has been a few weeks. We've had a little bit of drama, but we are glad to be back. And so today we are jumping on into the conversation and talking about inflation. And it's interesting. I remember, as a little girl going to the store and being able to buy a candy bar for a nickel or candy bar for a dime. Or I remember even, I might be dating myself, but we used to be able to. You remember when we had the what were they called, the phone booths? Y'all, were you old
Mm,
enough to remember phone booths, Donovan? Or you too?
yes,
You too? All
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
I know Dwayne is right there with me, but I remember on the way to the store, we would always check the phone booths to get us see if we could find a nickel
Mhm.
or a quarter, and we'd always find something, and we can buy some bubble gum or buy some whatever. Man, nowadays it's ridiculous to try to buy a little something something when you're going through the cash register and you're trying to buy a candy bar or something simple. What used to be 25 cents is now $2. And that's crazy to me. And I think about vegetables, how inexpensive they used to be, and now they are crazy high. And gas, well, gas is doing better nowadays, but I remember at a point it was over $4 when I went home to California. And so, even fast food, the prices have just skyrocketed. Everything you buy now, originally, hey, Ronald, thanks for joining us. Originally, things just seemed to the prices just kind of started creeping up, but now it's like out of control. And where is it going to stop? And so I wanted to you guys to start talking about this. Donovan, you brought this conversation up to us, so we want you to just kind of run with it today. But help us understand how this inflation train is rolling and how we can get ahead of it, so that more of our money is not taken every month, and we're spending more money for the same stuff, and we're not making that same amount of money bringing it home. So let's talk
Yeah.
about it, guys. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that it's devilish, demonic. The system that's been put around us that we can't even see it, we don't even know it. We hear words and terms. So generally, out of sight, out of mind. If you can't see it, feel it, taste it, touch it, then it doesn't exist, or you think it's not affecting you. But meanwhile, it is. But what I wanted to start with was just a basic definition of inflation that we're talking about. Because if you look it up in the dictionary, you could think we're talking about balloons and putting too much air in a balloon as inflating a balloon, but we're talking about it on an economic level. And the definition for inflation on an economic level is a general increase in prices. And man, those small little words help illuminate so much if you pay attention and don't move too fast. A general increase in prices. And well, hold on, I thought inflation was just a rise in prices.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a double-edged sword that chops your hair off on the way forward, and then you think that is safe, and you come up for air, and it chops your head off on the way back.
Hmm.
And fall in the purchasing value of money. A general increase in prices and a fall in the purchasing value of money. So you have
It's going
two
like this.
polarizing, exactly, going in opposite directions. And what is that doing? Like a rubber band is stretching you out until you pop, and
Mm.
you don't even know why you popped. Or like we say in the markets, Wall Street, etc., until you go bust, and you don't know why you busted, because the prices are going up while the purchasing power of your currency is going down until it busts, and you don't know what happened, and no one told you how to prevent it. It just seems like, well, there's nothing we could do about it. And that's what your broker would tell you after he's rinsed all your accounts for his fees and his commissions, kind of like the CEOs and COOs getting millions of dollars in payouts as a company goes bust.
Mm.
You're out on the street, they're buying a new boat.
Mm.
So
Literally.
the reason we want to talk about it today is really how to get ahead of it, because the job numbers came out yesterday, and another 1.5 million filed for unemployment. And I know a few weeks ago we had a good news in the jobs market, and jobs seemed like more jobs were created. Jobs weren't created. People just went back to work, so those claims went away. Places were opened up as we went to phase 1 or phase 2 of the opening from the quarantine. So when you get that little bit of good news, what Yahoo would tell you, or Reuters, or Bloomberg, is that, oh, the optimism and the market bounces back. Well, there's no one in the market right now but hedge funds and the Fed. And now they're giving away free money. And you're going to the grocery store, and because you were shown how to budget. You had one class in economics in high school where they talked about a budget, but they never hammered it home. They never gave you the repetition to hammer it home for you to create a budget. And even for those of us that have created a budget, you say, okay, I'm going to spend $80 on groceries, and you go to the market and, you're like, man, I got the same thing. Last week I spent 78. This week I'm spending 83. The week after I'm spending 86. The week after. So now your $80 budget keeps being blown and keeps going up and up, taking money away from other things. Or now you go into what most of us do, and that's into more debt, because you start leveraging your credit. You start leveraging a little more buying power, because the buying powers of your dollars are lost. Man, family, we're going to try to make this quick. We got so much more to share. I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Taylor at this time. Dwayne.
Man, I'm just sitting here listening to all this information, and I'm just like, it really makes you angry, man. It really makes you angry when you get behind the curtain and you see the system that has been set up and designed. I mean, to literally, let's keep it real. Like, to literally, I hate to say it like this, but to literally choke the life out of you, like old boy did Mr. Floyd. Like slow death. And we don't even realize it. And I was talking to Queenie earlier. They got us bamboozled by this bread and circus. They have us so distracted. We think we're so busy. We think we have all this stuff we have to get done. We think we got all this stuff we got to do. Like what this virus really did was it gave people the chance to really actually step on the brakes and kind of see how fast it's kind of like when you're in your car and you're stopped and the person next to you ain't, and they rolling, but you think you rolling. That's kind of like what it is. It's like everybody else is flying and you're kind of like finally stopped, and where you can kind of like, oh man, this is what's really going on. And inflation is one of those things that they have us going so fast that we don't even realize, like, inflation literally is robbing us of our lives, because we have to work harder and harder and harder to work for something that gets weaker and weaker and weaker over time. And, to know that there are systems and places that allow us, we're talking about how do we get in front of it. Well, there are systems out there that allow us to get in front, or there are ways in order to get in front, so you can hedge yourself from that inflation, so you can protect yourself from, you're not even protecting yourself from the inflation, man. You're protecting yourself from the immoral mindset of a group of people.
Small group of people.
Small group of people. That's what you're really protecting yourself from. Inflation is just the fruit from the root that's in their hearts.
So what's the answer? What do we do? Because at this point, we're at the house is burning down stage. What do we do?
And it's funny, after Mr. Taylor just talked, it was like that moment of silence, that pause. And I recall, speaking of another subject, posting this on my Facebook feed, that we're constantly focused on the fruit. We're focused on the fruit, and we never look to the root. Well, if we keep on focusing on the fruit, or like a passage that Dwayne and I read the other day on a meeting that we host on Mondays, on Sundays actually with our team, from the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. He talked about, this physical world that we see, or our life as it is today, is just a printout of our mental, emotional, and spiritual truths, our mental, emotional, and spiritual realities. So what we're seeing now in the flesh is a printout of that. So if I was to print a piece of paper, print a document, and see an error on the document, and I go to the document and I correct it there, and then I hit print again and pull up the print, and I still see the same error, and keep going to, I keep going to the fruit instead of going back into the program and fixing the error in the program. Well, we got to get back into the program and fix the error into the program and see, well, when did this root come in that instituted this system of inflation that keeps robbing me of my purchasing power and has the prices increasing on me? So I'm losing on both fronts when my income isn't keeping up. When the income of the average, I got this printed up to the inequality. Man, I wish I could show this. But literally the income of the low, middle, and even high income earners in America has flatlined. Meanwhile, the top 1% has increased almost, what is it? Looks like 800%. Like
What?
wealth gap has increased just on income alone. And when you go back and do the deep
Wow.
dive research, you see that, wow, this has happened from when they stopped pensions. Company didn't have to pay pensions anymore, and they handed you a 401k, a tax deferred savings plan, and called that your retirement. Well, here's the problem with that. You're saving dollars that you earn today. And I'm going to go off Robert Kiyosaki's statement on this. He says that becomes real money. You earn that money and you pay taxes on it. So that becomes real money. Like, this dollar was earned, sweat and tears. It took my effort. It took me doing something, exchanging this for a service, a good or service, and earning that money. And when I did so, now this money became real in my life. But when I put it into a 401k, and I'm just going to use my age, I'm 43. Okay, retirement is 65, quote unquote, based on the figure that they tell us, right? Retirement, just for the informed, for the uninformed, retirement is not an age, it's a dollar amount. When the residual and passive income you have coming in meets and exceeds your monthly goals, you, sir, ma'am, are financially free and can leave that 9 to 5 if you choose to. So that's retirement right there. But so I have another 22 years. So you want me to save hard-earned dollars today that's supposed to provide for me in 22 years. Meanwhile, inflation is number one, robbing me because the prices of goods and services is going up. And the buying power of this dollar today is going down. So in 22 years, it's not going to buy in 22 years what it would buy today. So why would I save that? Why would I keep that as my tool for my retirement, for my quote unquote golden years, for me to enjoy my life? That right there is foolish. And that is the repetition that's been drilled into us. And when you start a new job, you have your HR, you have the people that train you, that sign you up, your coworkers, the people that sit in the desk next to you, the cubicle, the office next to you, telling you, hey, what you doing with your 401k? You got your 401k because the company match. And I promise you right now, if you don't heed my word, you will suffer the consequences of that. And we see it every 8 to 10 years. The market has a correction and people lose 30 to 40% of their hard-earned money. But that pool that you keep putting it in, that broker, that company, Fidelity or any other, Vanguard or any other company that your 401k is vested with, they still get their fees, they still get their commissions, they still earn a living. Meanwhile, you're losing money and they're paying out bonuses. Back to you, Mr. Taylor.
Man, and I guess maybe because it's been in my heart this whole week, but just once again, I go back to systems, and inflation is part of a system. It's part of a larger system. See, cash flow is about systems. When people can understand that, if they could just get their pride out the way and their egos out the way and just really just be humble. Just listen to another human being for once in your life without your ego presenting itself. But like if you really realize that making cash flow is created by a system, and you want the system to create that cash flow. That's why wealthy people are wealthy, because they either create and design systems or they connect to systems that have already been designed and are working to create cash flow. So they work to build something to create the cash flow instead of just working for fiat currency. And
Mm-hmm.
that fiat currency has something attached to it called inflation. And that inflation is designed to it's how can I put it towards like the body? How can I use a is inflation is like the it's like the poison you inject into the dollar to withdraw its life.
Mm.
So so inflation is it's that poison that sucks the life. It takes out, it draws out the life of that dollar. But these people who created the system, they created that part of the system because they need us to continually run because currency needs movement. And we
Mm,
are the legs that give
mm.
currency its movement. We are
Wow.
the ones that give it its movement. We give it the movement. So the more we run, the faster the current. And we're push so instead of the wave coming over us with the system creating the dollars, we're pushing the wave.
Mm. Which is why
And
they're
now
giving
and
free
it's
money
going
right
on
now.
them. So they're getting all the money. So we're pushing it and they're receiving it
Oh my God.
because we're part of
And,
their system.
and let me expound on what Queenie just said, Mr. Taylor. She just said that's why they're giving away free money right now. And what they're doing, they're really not giving it away. They're spending it into existence, and they're calling it a stimulus.
Mm.
Well, we had a leader in Care Bars say these words, and I love her for it. Her name's Lakeisha McKnight. If she sees the stream, she said, "Who are they stimulating? Because they're putting dollars in your pocket and you don't keep them. You immediately put them right back into the system and send them right back to them. So they're able to put that there, what they call they spend the money into existence, the currency into existence. So they're acquiring an asset for the currency that they printed out of thin air, sending us a free check, right? Giving us free money, or it seems to be free, but it's not. The
Mm-hmm.
tax comes later. Again, it's hidden. These taxes are hidden so you don't see them, you don't feel them, so they don't hurt. You don't
Today.
feel the pain of them
Today.
immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's delayed until later. And then when the pain comes, well, you're so far down the road, you forget the lash that caused that pain. So now you're looking for whatever's around you and saying that that's the cause. Oh, that was the cause of the pain. Like right now, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers because once you say this name right here, people lose their mind.
I'm bracing myself.
Donald Trump.
Oh.
Do you really think that Donald Trump is the lash that is causing all the pain and the hecticness of today? No, this is years built up. And now it's all falling on his shoulders and he's carrying the brunt of the blame. Like, oh, the 8 years that Obama was president, it was just glorious for black people. And now in 2017, Donald Trump was able to undo all of that. No, the seeds of racism was built into the fabric of this country, and now they're just being exposed on a greater level. It's not new. This is not new to me. My life wasn't just like, oh my God, where did this come from? Honey, what is this? I have never seen anything like this before. No, it's just amplified. So don't put the whole brunt of the pain on this one man, just like when that inflation, when these dollars being spent into existence out of nowhere, when that pain comes back for you and you didn't do the necessary things to protect yourself, when you didn't heed wisdom that was being given to say, don't hold dollars, you spend dollars. The only thing that those Federal Reserve notes are good for is to exchange, is as a medium of exchange. So you exchange it for goods and services, you exchange it for food, you exchange it for the roof over your head, you exchange it for clothes on your back, and you better start exchanging them for real money, which outpaces inflation. Mr. Taylor, all right, Miss Brown, back to you.
I'll let you go with that, Dwayne. I'm still stuck on all of it because Jesus,
I
Jesus.
mean, like, I think it just comes back to us just start simple. You know, It is true. Like learning how to make money and become wealthy is a skill. It's something we can all learn to do. We just really have to be willing to believe that we're worth to invest our own time in our own selves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really comes down to. Because you can ask the average person, are you really happy with your life? And you'll hear two mouths. You'll hear their heart speak, and then you'll hear their mind come in and speak right behind them. Their heart will always tell you what is real money, Yolanda. Gold is real money. Real money. There's one thing that makes money money. It's called store of value. And I'll give you a quick example. I could have $645 in my left hand, and I can have a kilogram bar of gold in my right hand. And back in 1920, I could take that $645 or that kilogram bar of gold and go buy a brand new car. Well, if I was to take that $645 and that kilogram bar of gold today and I go to a car dealership, could I buy a brand new car with that $645? No, I couldn't. But I could take that same kilogram bar of gold that I had back in 1920, go trade it in, and I could get about, at today's rate, probably almost close to $60,000. So I could take that 60,000 and go buy a brand new car. The reason gold is real money because it stores value over a long period of time. Currency does not do that. So real money is gold and silver. That's real. That's true real money. But you'll never learn that. The people in the new age, they only believe in stock market. They believe in what's called paper assets. Anything paper, 401s, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, that type of stuff. Right? And then there's another side that believes in real money, like what God created. Like it was here before us and it'll be here long after us. And you can go anywhere in the world and people will receive silver or gold for payment of goods and services. Anywhere in the world, people will take gold, but everywhere in the world, they will not take the dollar. So that's the difference as well. Real money is universal. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end there. I know I was on another topic right before that, before I spoke to Yolanda, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to you, Queenie, because there's so much to this topic that we can go into. Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, just take the time to just begin to truly learn. Like, it doesn't take big steps, small steps. Start with us, Care Bars. Sign up for a free account. 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 It doesn't. You don't have to ask questions to sign up for a free account. Sign up for a free account, plug in, start getting this knowledge, start getting this wisdom, start getting understanding. Stop asking, stop questioning, stop questioning, and just start taking action. And like my favorite entrepreneur is Richard Branson. He says if somebody shows you a good idea, say yes and figure it out later. That man became a billionaire because he said yes first and then he figured stuff out. He didn't have to figure it out first, then say yes. No, you say yes. That's how it happens, ladies and gentlemen. Success does not happen by you saying, let me figure it out, then say yes. No, it's totally opposite of that. It's say yes, then go figure it out. That's how it works. It's totally opposite of this world. And you gotta learn how to come into this world. And once you do though, you'll learn that. And we happen to come in this world and learn it through the power of real money, which is gold and silver. So that's where you start, ladies and gentlemen. Sign up for your free account. We'll put a link on there. Start saving gold. We'll get your info. We'll plug you in. You start learning this language, and your life will be forever changed.
I love it. I love it. So, in a few minutes, guys, after I close out the show, I'll be putting a link in the comments so that you guys can click on the link and go ahead and create your free account and then get with us. Let me know if you wanted to connect and ask questions. We can connect with you. We can do a Zoom where it's just the three of us and just or the four of us and talk it out and answer whatever questions you have. Because right now, family, we all have to batten down the hatches, the writings on the wall. Right now we need to take this very seriously and really consider ourselves and our families and our futures and our legacy. And don't wait. Now's not the time to pretend like you got time. We've got to focus and get this thing done. So, guys, is there anything else you want to say before we shut it down?
I just want to say one last thing. Number one is, Mr. Taylor, you dropped the mic on that explanation, man.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. It was good.
Kept it so simple that it's, don't, ladies and gentlemen, family, don't add anything to what he said. Don't add anything. It was perfect in the way it was presented to you. Lastly, what I wanted to add was, uh, we're right now, I truly believe we are under God's grace period. Think of a soccer game, right? And the clock is 45-minute halves. The clock has run out, but for some reason the ref hasn't blown the whistle yet. So it's tied up 2-2, or you're down 2-1. Well, right now I'm gonna tell you it's time to stop playing it safe like you thought. Pull the goalie. Pull your goalie and put all your teammates on offense. We got to get this goal. Take out the A, make it a D, put it on the N. We got to get this gold now. We got to get our. There's extra time been put on the clock for times such as this for you. Why? Because the information hadn't gotten to you or clicked. Well, now it's clicking. So go ahead and take the action. Don't sit and still try to figure it out and wait and try to budget. Because guess what? Carrot Bars has done. It's made it simple.
I think we lost him, Dwayne. Dwayne, you want to pick up?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pick it up. It looks like we may have lost Mr. Yarbo, but we were pretty much in that same vein because I was gonna come from the place of, well, it looks like he's still talking on YouTube.
Oh, right. I see
Yeah, so he is cutting off. So I was gonna say the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like if you just read the signs on the wall, like this is prophetic. This is prophecy that's truly taking place. And like Mr. Yarbo was saying, we are in that time frame of where the game is over, but we have this extended grace. And it's so funny that Mr. Yarbo was talking about that because that's exactly the exact same thing I was going to say. It's like we're out of time, but we have just enough time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Mr. Yarbo was talking about. You can't think no more. You just gotta trust in your heart that the God you believe in is good enough to bless you with something so simple and easy in such a time as this to get you out of this situation that you're in. You gotta believe your God loves you that much to
Mm.
help you and believe that it is that simple. Believe that yes, it can be that simple. You've been trained to believe that it's hard and it's not. That's it for me. Back over to you, Mr. Yarbo, if you want to finish. Because we were in the same vein, because I was going to say the
Yeah.
exact same thing you were talking about.
No, sir. I'm not.
All right. All right. Wow. Well, thank you, family, for joining us again. Thank God it's Financial Freedom Fridays. Again, I will be putting a link in the comments for you to go ahead and create your own free account. If you have questions, leave me a comment or reach out to the guys. And also, if someone brought you here that's already affiliated with Carrot Bars, get back with them because we want to make sure that stays right. So connect with us. Okay, we want to help you. We want to build and grow together. Oh, hi, Carol. My first time tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. I love you, love you, love you.
Thank you,
All
Miss
right.
Carol.
Donovan, did you want to go ahead and say something?
I didn't. I didn't. Dwayne dropped
Okay.
the mic again. Thank you guys for your time. Back to you, Mrs. Brown. Thanks again for hosting us. This is always amazing when we do this.
Absolutely. I love it too. I love it too. And on a second note, I wanted to share with you guys, I will be celebrating my golden anniversary this weekend. I'm turning 50, y'all. Woo! And I'm still kind of cute, but anyway.
Still beautiful.
Hey,
Still beautiful.
Cindy, how you doing, love? Thanks for joining us. But in light of that, I wanted to invite all of you to join me. I am launching a 21-day life revolution challenge, and it's going to be starting next week. And it's really about all of us recognizing who we are and the power that exists on the inside of us and rising into that power. Because right now, in this day and time, we need to be in a position where we are manifesting. We are manifesting our prayers. When we pray, we get answers immediately. When we need, the provision shows up, and we serve a God that is a right now God. And so if you are blessed and highly favored and still broke, and blessed and highly favored and sick, and blessed and highly favored and lonely and angry and bitter and any of those other negative feelings that are keeping your power locked up, then you need to join me in this challenge. So join me inside of Facebook. Friend me if we aren't friends yet, and you're going to get more information in the next couple of days. I'm super excited about sharing this. It's something God has put on my heart. It's going to blow your hair back, but it's going to help you rise into your power to start manifesting and getting real results. So I'm excited about where we're going together. Thank you so much, Carmen. Hi, love. Thank you for the birthday gifts, wishes. I love you guys dearly. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye, family.
Love.